Do you mind if I film a YouTube video right now and you're in the background talking?
I mean, no, fuck it.
Fuck it?
Fuck it. Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, go on.
And he's like a little sweaty because it was kind of like warm or whatever in the car. And at this time it was November, it was getting hot, and I just for some reason it wanted to be like 80 degrees off, like randomly just ended up being like, but yeah, I ended up meeting Jeremiah's abuela, his tío, and his mom. Sad, and then she was like, and I was like, and she was like, she took a genuine interest in me as a person, and she just met me, and looked at me like how young he is, and how irresponsible he can be. I don't know why I'm guessing in a way he was telling them that I was trying with me, and it just didn't die. And everybody knew this but me. Everybody knew the Floyd but me. And I'm guessing, I don't fault Jeremiah's mom or his grandmother at all. Because I'm pretty much sure they were just saying that, like, oh, they're already together and they're talking and this, that, and the third.
Okay.
Yeah, and she makes that joke and they're like joking around. I'm like,
Sorry, there are people who came in. Yeah, man.
Cool. Completely ignoring the fact that I kissed him back. I'm pretending that it didn't happen, even though I kissed him on the lips. It wasn't even on the cheek. I kissed him dead on the lips.
Crazy.
And at this point, he's like, your brother is so messy. Okay. Fast forward. Thanksgiving is like popping around or whatever, and he like invites me over to his house. At this point, we've gotten pretty close at this point. And we're like, he invites me over, as you know, for many, many years. My whole family dynamic is shit. It's tired of dynamic, 60-50 and shit. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I don't care. I was like, yeah.
So much fuck it, I don't care.
Because at this point, I had such a handle on my emotions and I really didn't care if I was with him or not. I didn't care. Like, I was just scared. I was so free-flowing for no fucking reason because I'm like, you know what, fuck it.
Fuck it again?
Fuck it. I was so free-flowing because I'm like, you know what, I'm a senior in high school. I don't do too much anyway, so fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Let's just see where this takes me.
Yeah.
Did not take me in a good direction at all, man. But I agree. I ended up not going on Thanksgiving Day for that next day. I ended up, she's super sweet. She's like kind of nervous, and then she's like, kind of indifferent because he's like, new person in the house. I understand. Introduced me to his stepdad, which, Mark. I fucking love Mark. To this day, I love.
What? Sorry, say that again?
He also introduces me to his stepdad, Mark. Remember this name because he pops up multiple times as well.
Okay. Well, I can't just remember that he's just his stepdad. I can't just remember that that's his stepdad, Mark.
Yeah, that's his stepdad.
Yeah.
Mark. Yeah, stepdad.
Gotcha.
Mark is super nice to me. He's like, or whatever the fuck they call it. And I'm just like, damn. I feel like I belong somewhere.
That's sweet.
Like, they really made me feel like I belong somewhere. I had exactly, I just kind of knew them, but was in the midst of meeting them and everything. So everything was just like, it felt good, especially around the holidays, and coming from such like a broken home. They had people that were so warm and inviting.
For sure. I can understand that, yeah. It's crazy that he turned out like that with such a seemingly loving family.
I want to say, there's more to his backstory, but, when his stepdad came into the picture, I'm pretty much sure his stepdad was, like, way too late.
I see.
To, like,
that's
really
unfortunate.
Redirect him to, like, a safer path.
Right.
To take in his life. But, his stepdad is, like, super sweet and everything is, like, it's almost surreal how loved I felt in there.
That's good.
I mean, like, it really, like, took me through a loop because, like, I haven't felt that feeling in damn near a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like all holly and jolly and shit. And then, you know, William finally gets like distracted and he wants to go upstairs and he's going to go play with his toys. He's like, you know, I'm gonna play with my toys. I'm like, okay. Hey, William. His sister leaves and she goes up there because she was practicing acrylic nails and shit, and she was telling me about that. She goes upstairs and she goes to practice more, you know, to improve her craft because she was like dead set on that. And she's really good. And she actually is like really good too, which I always will applaud her on that. And so, you know, they disappear. Mr. Mark goes to upstairs into his room. He goes and chills. Now I'm left alone with London.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. We ended up watching, which in a way, Better Call Saul is kind of ruined for me.
Oh.
Because we ended up starting that series together. Like, even though I've already like made it to half of the series, I ended up like watching it. The first part of it, like most of the series with him, and then newer parts of it that I hadn't seen with him, and it became like our routine.
Right.
Every time I would come over, every time he was like with me, we would end up like watching it.
Right.
Together. And so that became our routine. But this is like the first time we watched it together. And he was like, "Oh shit, this show is like really good. I didn't know you did that. You know it's a really good show." I'm like, yeah. I'm just that guy when it comes to shows.
Mm-hmm.
Just that guy. And you know, we're on the couch. He ends up kind of like getting close to me again. And you know, I'm in such a holly jolly, malarkey ass mood.
You kiss him again?
No, I let him get close, and then end up kissing again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guessed right, man. You guessed right. And yeah, and then like at this point, I've gotten so comfortable and holly and jolly and in the Thanksgiving spirit. He's all close up on me. At this point, he kind of like, I don't want this to be like.
You go further?
It's not like super sexual. It's just like he had like kind of like picked me up and put me on top of him, like in like a cuddly way. Like he had me laying on top of his chest, and he had like my entire body on top of him. In that moment, back of my head is like, dude, you're fucking up bad right now, man. You're fucking up really bad. You allow him to pick you up. And listen right now, man. You're fucking up. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. This is the sign from the universe telling you to trust your intuition. You can either listen to this lesson now or you can listen to this lesson later, but that's what you have to learn. Trust your intuition.
Oh, please, no. After this entire situation, I'm like, never again will I doubt the thing in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
You got your best interests at heart. You know what to avoid. You know what...
Oh my god. And then it goes like a tad bit further because at this point, he wants me to try his mom's cooking. Well, his mom was like, make sure, you know, he eats.
You said 60 or sits me?
Yeah, sits me at like the table because he had me like on his back, kind of like in his hand still, but also while making a plate for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits me at the table or whatever, and he puts the plate in front of me. He's like, "Okay, I want you to try this." I'm like, "Okay, I guess." And he's like, you know, at this point, he kind of like knew that because by accident I opened up to him and told him whenever I stress out, I don't eat.
You don't eat?
You remember when I was younger, I would always say whenever I get stressed out, I like lose my appetite completely.
Oh, yeah.
This was exam season. I was kind of falling back into all of my bad habits, but this is like that habit that I really can't kick sometimes.
Okay.
And I accidentally opened up to him about that, just yapping away, and he had kind of like looked at me. He was like, you know, are you eating? And I really was like, kind of. He asked me like, what did you eat today? And I wrote water and bread.
Girl.
I was Jesus.
You're not you, Jesus, Maxine.
His mom was Barbadian. The food was fucking amazing, man. Jesus Christ. I think about that food often, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up finishing almost the entire plate. he's like, he's, you know, the entire time I'm eating, he has me, he's like, at this point, he's feeding me. He takes the fork and he starts feeding me.
I mean, kind of cute, I guess.
Okay. And I'm accepting this shit. I just want to pay. I'm in the mirror in the hallway or whatever. He like walks me to, like, not walks me, like carries me towards it or whatever. He's in the back of my head. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm pretty, but stroke my ego real quick. Yeah, stroke my ego. And he was like all in the mirror, and like showing me myself. Like,
he said he wanted to marry you?
Well, actually, yes. Later on, he did actually like. I'm not even done with what all he did.
That's crazy.
And this is like when I'm actually letting him get close to me. And he's like, I've been feeling this about you for a while. But like he's in the mirror, he's telling me how pretty I am. He's like, you know, I really think you're pretty. I feel this way about you. And, you know, he goes, I love you. I'm like, what? Okay, buddy.
Damn. How long had it been at this point? Like 4 months?
At this point, he had been chasing behind me, like, I guess, like 4 months. Like 4 months, 3 months.
Okay.
But,
I mean, shit, maybe it was real.
Huh?
I said, I mean, shit, maybe it was real. Maybe it was real for a bit, and then he just changed. He switched up.
Like I said, he switched. Maybe it's like a narc thing or whatever. I don't know. The reason why I keep saying, like, is he does have, like, narcissism tendencies. I wouldn't say that he's, like, full on, like, he has, like, OPD type of shit, but, like, he has the tendencies that any other dude has.
Okay. I mean,
but, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's not maybe he's just not that emotionally intelligent and, I don't know, just mimics instead of actually feeling things.
Yeah, probably. It could be like a little things. I'm pretty much sure it'll make more sense to you the more I, like, finish this up.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you know more about this, even because I just took, like, the intro to psychology and, like, I forgot. It's like, it preps you for, like, the second section of psychology.
Right, yeah.
So I'm not full on, like, educated on this shit.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm gonna continue on. Like, he's like continuing on with the whole romance stuff. He's like, I love you. And I'm like, oh, I don't like directly tell him I love you too, because at that point I'm really not. I think you're cool. I like you, but I don't love you. At least not yet. So I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. And just like I'm being like nice back, but like I'm not full on like reciprocating.
Right. Trying not to be easy.
Trying not to be easy, even though I've already like.
Trying to beat the easy allegations, even though it's too late.
Yeah.
Okay.
It continues on. He's like right on the couch. He has that I'm gargling him. He's like looking at me all lovingly and shit. Wow. I'm gonna tell you this other part because then you're probably like, dude, why?
Wait, hold up. Give me a sec. I gotta wash my hands.
What?
Give me a sec. Fill me in. It gets worse?
We ended up making out and shit.
Okay.
And then it went a little bit farther, but we didn't have sex.
Okay. What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean?
We didn't have sex. It ended up like going farther, but no sex.
Yeah, what do you mean by further though? Oh, okay.
Purposes, because I think this is why I got so fucking attached to him. Because I was a virgin. I have actually been holding on to my virginity for that long. And it's not because like I was like it's so sacred. It's mostly because I found no interest in nobody and I didn't feel like nobody was worth it enough.
Right.
To actually I said somehow, some way with him, everything just flowed correctly.
It'd be like that sometimes. You know, maybe it was just a good experience. Like, it was just a good... You did end up losing it to him, right?
Yeah. I thought it was unfortunately because I don't regret nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... Like, it's just life, you know? Like, your story could have been so much worse. It was nice until it wasn't, but at least it was nice. And at least now you know what nice feels like. So you know what to look for.
Yeah, I feel like for the first time in my life, I knew what nice felt like.
Yeah.
when it came to like romantic relationships or whatever, like the first time, I knew what it was supposed to feel like.
Yeah, now you know that, like, the thing you have to do is be more assertive about what you need. Like, figure out what went wrong here. Like, what specifically. When did he go too far? Like, when did he decide that, okay, I can overstep these boundaries? Okay, this is fine. Or, like, things like that. You know? And then figure out how you could change that in future partners. Like, prevent them from thinking that way.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I ended up going not towards sex because at that point I hadn't lost my virginity yet. I was still kind of like
No rush, no pressure type shit.
no rush, no pressure. If you still want dibbling and dabbling, we kind of like went all the way with it. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm looking down, I'm like bleeding and shit, and there's like blood compared that whole accident happening, and he's like, and him having to like literally like kind of like talk me down. Even though I was already down, it's just that I completely went nonverbal.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
So I'm like sitting at that event. I'm like, there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something like super, super wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole like everything's off. Everything feels off. I feel numb. I can't. I'm still like. This is like the next day too. I'm like still bleeding. I'm still like, yo, something's off.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, he hadn't texted me in a few hours, and it wasn't like him.
Interesting. It's like he was ignoring you?
I ignored it. It's like, at first, I thought it was just like, probably was ignoring me, but at that time, I'm thinking everything's my fault. Even though I didn't know any better. But, you know, even as a kid, as you remember, even though things weren't my fault, I blamed myself. Even though I knew I didn't know any better, I knew I did everything with, you know, however capable I was to do things. I did everything that I could do in my power. I still ended up blaming myself for what happened or what went wrong, even though it could have happened to anybody. Even though you know, it could happen to anybody. It could have happened to me down the line. It could have happened to me in old age. I completely started blaming myself, and he was acting a little off. And I should have mentioned this other guy's name, but Elijah or EJ. He goes to his house. He's been there for like an entire day. You know, he was like, "Oh no, I've just been high. It's not that or nothing." You know, I'm like, okay. And, you know, I kind of like bring it up to him again. And I'm like, have you, you know, I was kind of like preparing myself, you know, in case like he did lose attraction to me because of that, even though it's happened before.
One more time?
Like, I was kind of like preparing myself because if he had like, kind of like lost attraction to me or because of that, even though it's happened before, I wasn't going to fault him for it. I was going to end up blaming myself, but I wasn't going to like be like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I wasn't gonna like be like, you know, oh, but you did this, that, and the third. I wasn't like, I was kind of like preparing myself for that, and he was like, he was like, it wasn't that, or so I thought at that time. And you know, a few days go past, and he seems more distant. I'm like, no, it's just a week. Talking to me every day, still saying certain shit to me, you know, and I got to the point like I was in such a sloppy, daffy, such like a yucky way. Like I just want my boyfriend. I just want my boyfriend. And it was like I completely was like, oh, here's a good way to put it. He made me so emotionally dependent on him.
Yeah. That's what I was hearing from the beginning of the story.
He wanted me so dependent on him. The picking up the gifts, the picking me up, the making sure I was with him 24/7.
Yep. It's probably because he's just insecure about how like people feel about him. So if you're absolutely dependent, then of course you like him.
Yeah. And he had made sure I was so dependent on him in every aspect. So where when he did that, I felt like I lost somebody I lost a part of myself. And I was like, when he did that, I was like, I just want my boyfriend. I just want my boyfriend. I kept repeating it and repeating it. And I was like breaking down. And he was like, I love you, but I can't be with you. And I was like, I went through like a whirlwind because you made me so emotionally like, I need you now. Like, you know now at this point, I need you. Because you literally forced your way into my life. It's not that I made you, I forced you in here. You forced yourself in here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people really don't think that far, though. Like, if there's a chance that he was being legit, it just wasn't. He stopped feeling that way. Or, like, he thought that he wasn't deserving of you or something. Because it sounds to me like he's just very emotionally immature. I don't think he's necessarily a narcissist, nor do I think that he has narcissistic traits, from what you've said. From everything you've said, it sounds a lot like he just isn't emotionally aware or mature.
Okay. I can agree. I just, like, by the way, people were like, no, because one of my friends that was in psych, she was like, in a way, it sounds like he's like a baby. Like, not like a baby narc, but like he was like showing something that could eventually turn into that.
I mean, yeah, that could happen for sure, but I don't think that that's worth it to characterize him that way at all. Because I don't think that that's a sign of that at all. Because that's
for the longest,
that's like saying someone with a lot of high self-esteem is a baby narc, you know? Like, that's not really related. Like, sure, but that's not really related.
Yeah, at first I was like, there's no way. I think it's just an emotional thing or something that I did myself, you know. But, you know, back to it, I kind of like blamed myself. I started blaming myself. I started like literally like losing my shit. Even though deep down, he even admitted to me on multiple occasions, I never cared about that shit. Never cared.
Never cared about what?
I don't care. I still love you. I still, even after we had broke up, quote unquote, because the farther this goes, Christmas kind of like rolls around. I had brought him car plate for his fucking BMW. And it wasn't like something he asked me for. I just remember he would talk about it. He's like, one day I'm going to put CarPlay in here because I want to be able to play my music instead of like having to play it on a speaker. And I would be like, you know how I am. Whenever I hear certain shit, I'm gonna like, hey, I can make this into a gift for important events or birthdays and shit like that.
It'd be like that.
So I brought him CarPlay for his car. Got that for him. I got him, I think about like, what else did I get him? I got him all his favorite candies. I think I got him a shirt too.
Okay.
Like all of it, like I got like a lot of things that he liked because he also likes puppet combo shit. And that's another thing that we bonded over because I love puppet combo shit. There. Well, Aaron will remember the puppet combo shit. I probably would remember that. But yeah. I think I got him a shirt from Puppet Combo. And yeah. But at this time, he already had broke up with me. He was trying to bring his mom to my house, too. I'm like, dude, what? You just broke up with me. And you're talking about, like, one last kiss. But you're bringing your mother over to my house to meet my mom. Make it make sense, please.
Interesting.
Man, please.
So after you said that he can be with you, he wants to meet your mom or whatever?
No, he wasn't talking to my mom. Okay, it was like this. He was like in pretty good standing with my mom and some of my family members. And then I was like seriously entwined into his family.
Okay.
One, because that's also how I got emotionally attached to him and his family. Because, like I said, I never had a family structure. My family is extremely broken. They fight a lot. So basically. Right. And that's how I became so emotionally dependent on him, his family. I'm not emotionally dependent on his family, to be exact. It's how I became so emotionally attached to his family.
Okay.
Because they gave me something that I didn't have. Did they intend to like make me so attached? I doubt it. They just was like showing me kindness because I guess they could understand where I came from. That I didn't come from a good home. and they just wanted to show me something good. And I'm pretty much sure they were under the impression that their son was actually being serious about a girl for once in his life. Because even Mr. Mark was like, okay, he's being different.
Interesting. And maybe that really was the case, but he just slipped back into old patterns. That happens.
It does happen. And at the time, I wasn't really faulting him for how this was going. It's just the choices that he made after the fact, which the more I got here, you know, the whole, you bringing your mom to meet my mom, because our families weren't really meeting. It's just that I got so entwined into his family, and my mom didn't care, because she was like, you know, you're old enough. I know that at this point I've raised you into such a broken, like really broken family structure that maybe you need that, because I definitely cannot provide that to you.
Mm-hmm.
So she was fine with never really meeting his mom or nothing, anything like that. It was like kind of like her giving me up for adoption almost, because I became so entwined with his family.
Right.
And she was okay with it. And she was like, as long as you feel happy, I'm okay with that, because I can't provide to you what you need. I've never have been able to give you what you need. Even when you were a baby, I couldn't give you what you need. Your grandmother was raising you.
That's what your mom was saying?
Yeah, she had like admitted to me.
Dang.
Like, because lately she's been just like kind of like coming to terms with herself, which I'm proud of her for that.
Yeah.
And she was like, she told me like, I really fucked up with you, and every day I feel bad because you're such a good kid, and you were always such a good kid, and I just fucked you over.
Dang. I mean, it's really good that she was able to acknowledge that and tell you.
And she was, and you know, because like after this all happened, she admitted that to me, and she was like, I just wanted you to feel like you were loved, and if you found that there, then so be it.
That's amazing.
But yeah, and that's how I got so intertwined with his family, because they made me feel like I belonged somewhere. He knew that. He knew that because he could tell with the dynamic between me and my mom, because we were fighting so much that I came from such like my family structure was fucked.
Dude, maybe he just wanted to show you what it was like to be loved. Maybe he knew that he couldn't do that to you forever, but he just wanted to show you what it was because he knew that you deserved it.
I regret how I reacted, because I ended up like yelling at him, because I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? To the point you just broke up with me. You're asking me for one last kiss and to exchange gifts, and then you want my mom to meet your mom at my house. And like, I don't know if that was wrong or right to do, but in a way, I ended up yelling at him, because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you just did this to me. And you know that I would start literally having a whole breakdown in front of you and your mom and my own mother, because my emotional stability is at zero at this point, because you've made me so attached to you. You've made me so dependent on you, to the point even the thought of it hurts. So come on, make it make sense. But he ended up like completely ignoring him that day. Next day, I think it's like New Year's Eve. No, the day before New Year's Eve. I told him, you know what, dude, come get your shit. I'm not talking about like, oh, the clothes that I've been wearing, that's yours, and like all the things that you've given me. When I said his shit, I meant like the gifts I got him, because I just wanted it out my room, because I got tired of looking at it, because every time I would look at it, I would start crying.
Damn.
I was like, dude, just come and get it. No, we got into an argument like the day before New Year's Eve, and I was like, at this point, I had called Jeremiah, and Jeremiah was like, what? Wait, what's going on, man? What's going on? And I'm just like, no, just come. Like, is there any way that I can like meet you somewhere and give you this shit, and you can give it to him, and tell him I said Merry Christmas, well, Merry late Christmas, and he's like, what are you talking about?
Interesting. Very interesting.
And I didn't like, you know, and he's not doing anything behind my back. But But yeah, I called Jeremiah. I'm like, you know, I just found like pissed as shit. So I'm guessing. Oh, here's how I'll put it. I'm guessing Jeremiah thought we had broke up, but on good terms. Like on like pretty good terms. Like we're decent.
Mm-hmm.
So when I called him, he was like completely thrown off. He was like, what?
Hmm.
And it didn't dawn upon me until like later down the line because my emotions were like so off the chart because I'm like, it's like almost like me getting winged off from something, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like withdrawals from drugs, basically. It's like I was like acting like somebody else having withdrawals at this point. So I don't know. I'm in front of your house. How dumb are you? How dumb are you? Like, I started getting pissed because when, like I said, I'm going off every emotion. I'm feeling like anger, sadness, everything, like all in one. Now I just want to out. I'm like, dude, I'm asking you to do one thing. Don't make no second. And now thinking back, I'm not sure I made him feel some type of way when I rejected him. Kind of like he wanted to not just buy it. He wanted to like literally come in my room. And he started to apologize, and he's like, "I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for making you feel this way." And it's that third. I'm like, yeah, whatever. At this point, I'm like, whatever. I'm like completely emotionally tapped out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gone all over again. And